So Ross, I'd like to explore where we are at in this journey to the cloud within the industry and how partners like Google Cloud and GFT can help banks progress along this journey. So what is your view on the current landscape on cloud adoption in the industry?
Well, I think initially banks were hesitant to adopt cloud going back 6 or 7 years ago, but that's completely changed. And what we're seeing now is pretty much every major bank in the world is using public cloud in some form or another. We have a number of partnerships here in the UK and globally, so I think it's really interesting. What we've also seen is that cloud has shifted from a boardroom agenda perspective. It's no longer purely around infrastructure and hosting apps. It's actually around modernising business, attracting and retaining the best talent, and also adapting to new landscapes and providing customer-centric solutions to the market. So it's been really interesting. I'm really looking forward to how it will shape out in the future.
Yeah, and that resonates a lot with what we see in the market as we help clients along this journey. And yet when it comes to core banking, transformation still remains a challenge, mostly due to the complexity and the cost of breaking down those monolithic architectures, and also the risk of disrupting customers along the way. But now we think we are approaching a turning point as there are mounting pressures from business to become more agile and to react more quickly to market changes and to client needs. Also, the cost of running those predominantly mainframe architectures is going up and is becoming unbearable, and so is the risk of obsolescence and of lack of skills to maintain and operate those systems. And also we're seeing a number of new technologies and tools being applied successfully in this modernization, and as there are more and more success stories coming out, we think that's going to push the adoption in the industry in terms of core banking modernization.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect summary, and actually in some ways this is a very old story, but it's become more relevant with the emergence of new technologies. And you're totally right, I think the cost of maintaining mainframes is creeping up and up, but as we go on in time, COBOL and some of those languages that run mainframes are becoming more obsolete, as you say, but the talent pool to support these languages is really diminishing, and the best engineers in the market frankly don't want to work on these languages. So there's a huge risk associated in the future around maintaining these environments. And what you've seen as well from the competitive landscape is that fintechs and other neobanks unencumbered by these legacy infrastructures have actually been able to move faster, acquire more customers and provide them with more solutions in a more rapid pace. So I think the time to modernize is really becoming super important and is super relevant for our customers.
Absolutely. And what are the approaches that you see are being applied successfully in this transformation?
I think if you look at the market, there's really 3 approaches that we've seen. So there have been customers that have kind of ripped and replaced, have changed their mainframe or their core in situ, which is sometimes complex and is associated with a high cost. There's been customers that have hollowed out their core, so effectively leveraging cloud-native microservices to provide more extensibility and efficiency. But there are also customers that we've seen in the market that have just stood up new banks. They've hydrated neobanks, fintechs, and used modern, off-the-shelf cloud-native cores that are available in the market. So I think those are the 3 themes that we're seeing in the market.
Great. And how do you think Google Cloud can help clients in this journey?
Well, this is a conversation we're having with our customers all the time, and I kind of categorize this in 2 simple ways: products and people. So from a product perspective, we have a number of approaches. One is replatforming, which is really effectively using some of our solutions, one of which is unique in the market, is called dual run, where you can run parallel environments, run testing, run functional equivalents before cutting off for your mainframe. We also have automated tools to help you refactor code, so exactly what we mentioned, refactoring COBOL into Java, modern languages. And we also see approaches of data in cloud, so taking the data from mainframes, putting it into the public cloud, and then running all of your data analytics to run things like personalization, event-driven architecture for your customers. So that's kind of the product side. From a people perspective, I think we've spent a couple of years working on alliances with GSIs, and GFT is a great example of that, but also with ISVs. So we're now working with many of the leading core providers in the market who either run their cloud platform on Google Cloud or have actually built their platform using Google Cloud and some of our native technologies. So the combination of those 2 aspects, we're seeing some really winning conversations and winning outcomes for our customers.
Thank you, Ross. That's great insight on how GFT and Google Cloud can help clients in this journey.